This week, the new dads wrap up their bead enterprise, and one kid destroys a public eating place with their unmentionables. In our Gaming Dad Victory of the Week, we meet Alfred, an incredible dad of 4 with a number of gaming dad stories to share. And in the gaming industry, companies seem to continue tripping on themselves with DLC mistakes, though there is hope with the same industry getting together for the 2017 Game Awards show to recognize the best and brightest. All this and more on New Dad Gaming. The adult beverages are poured, the kids are asleep. Welcome to New Dad Gaming, a show about fatherhood, gaming, and new fathers figuring out their gaming lives. My name is Trevor, and I have a 3-month-old and a 2-year-old.
And I'm Jeff. I have a 7-year-old and a 4-year-old.
So, I'm back to doing months.
Oh yeah,
you understand?
Right. You are.
Because he just a couple days ago turned 3 months, and it's like, oh, now I have to say that. And I messed up. So I was like, oh, how old? It's like, oh, 2. I mean, 3.
Never mind, he's the second.
Yeah, he's alive.
We're doing our best.
Yeah,
What's
we're working
his name
on
again?
it. What's his old face? Hey, pass the baby, would you? I said, like, it's misleading because I would say, this would be a weird one to say, but it's like we could have another kid, I think, if we were guaranteed for him to be like this one.
Oh, really?
He's currently, and then he could totally take a turn in a couple months, so stay tuned. But he is so calm, he is so easygoing, like it is just absolutely night and day compared to what we had with the first one. So it's I gotta have a bunch of these. But the risk...
You gonna roll the dice again?
No, because that's the thing, because otherwise, if it's like the first one again, like forget it, like you can't do that. You can't even have 2 of those. Let alone like him plus another. So, now the. But on that note, it's time to get on with the Gaming Dad Victory of the Week. Each week we feature a gaming dad with a great story or a great moment that captures the gaming dad experience. But before we get on to this week's Gaming Dad, we have to give a shout out to last week's Bank Duds, who just recently became a father for the second time.
Whoa,
so
congrats.
Really apropos what I was just saying. Which is like, honestly, I had not thought about that tie-in before, but that's very smooth radio. But congratulate, man! Fantastic news. So literally, when I was able to, I reached out and thanked him so much for sharing the story, which of course we're still very grateful for, and saying, the episode's live if you want to have a listen. And he says, I will, but I'm currently at the hospital. We just had our second. So, now, I guess it remains to be seen which is the greater honor.
Right.
Gaming Dad Victory of the Week or a new kid.
I don't know. Tips the scales a little bit, right? In our favor, I think.
I'd like to think so. I mean, there's games, right?
Right, yeah. You came first, really. So.
Yeah, so of course, again, someone here who did have a listen to that episode, you'll remember him as the gaming dad defending his sliver of the house for gaming. It's going to be interesting to see how he's able to defend it now that his kid count is doubled.
There's 2 in the roost.
And also the color combo too, because this is a son, so he had a girl before, and now he's had a son. So we'll see it. Maybe one side of the TV will be blue, the other side will be pink.
The classic pink and blue.
Oh, absolutely. Battling it out. So, hey, but congratulations. Fantastic news. Yes. So definitely want to give a shout out to that. But for this week's Gaming Dad Victory, so we've been messaging back and forth with this person, and the way it's gone, this literally could be its own podcast. There was just so many amazing Gaming Dad moments that came out from our conversations with the Gaming Dad of the Week. So I digress. The Gaming Dad Victory of the Week goes to Alfred. Now, Jeff, to start everything off, if I could have you go ahead and describe the photo that he posted, which should be very near and dear to your heart.
It's very close. It's a basement gaming center. We have a nice screen TV, 2 little boys sitting on the couch, both controllers blue, which means they're on the same team, and a game of Rocket League. So perfect game to start them off. My kids probably didn't fare this well. It looks like they're, having a great time. My kids have a difference between what their favorite color is, so it's always blue against red, and that creates some tension and some
before they even pick up the controllers. Yours are already going at it.
Yeah, so this looks like a perfect scene where they're enjoying it. It looks like they're having a great time. They're in the zone. They're just they're strategizing in the game of Rocket League. It's perfect. I enjoy this photo immensely. This is where it's at. This is the dad gaming moment, passing along the torch.
Oh, and to see like two of your boys like participating in this game, and whether it's like cooperatively, as you mentioned, they're on the same team, or like against each other, even like the thought that you could pass on the hobby to the both of them and then have that self-contained enjoyment between the two, like that is fantastic.
Like you could turn around and there's no yelling, at least for a little bit.
Yeah, until one of them scores.
Yeah.
Oh, and the so what do you see on the left side of the screen there?
See, you know what? You didn't have to mention that. Trevor seems to drum up some old wounds, pour some salt in there. There's a VR headset on a nice
PSVR
stand, and in addition to the VR, we have the Farpoint aim controller next to it. And I just kind of want to be in this life right now and just kind of live there for a little bit.
Looks a little ideal, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does. There's a nice PlayStation poster. There's a beer poster. This is great.
So like I said, so this photo alone, when we came across it, was just an immediate like, yes, this is the gaming dad victory of the week. But like it, in conversation, like this got so much better. So some quick background on Alfred, who, in his words, has, quote, a gorgeous wife named Sophia. So he's repping the missus there.
Yep.
Well played.
Gotta do it.
So those are 2 of 4 kids.
Oh, wow.
That is, yeah. So I think the...
bravo. I must say bravo. You got 2 that are calm, and then 2 other ones that are doing whatever behind you.
Yeah, right? So like it's just like... Hold on one second. Yep, yeah. So 4. It just...
That's...
Man...
That's a car full.
It's like you just like want to float that out there and let it like sink in for everyone for a moment.
No, I don't want it to sink in. No, not going to 4. You're a brave man, Alfred. Brave man.
So he's so PS4 gamer. Of course, you saw the PSVR. A No Man's Sky lover. So man after my own heart, indeed.
Well, he's hitting all the buttons, eh?
Right?
This is like,
it's like, is he just a gaming dad victor, or is he auditioning for a part on the show? It's just like, yeah, I don't know, Jeff. You might be cut. I don't know what to tell you.
I know.
No,
well, by all means, this guy has it all, so you can just pass it along.
So it continues. So within the PSVR, he often plays Spark. So I think he plays it at least on the daily.
Oh yeah.
So he does it for a workout, a good stress relief, which is like, I really need to get into this game. Like, I have it. Like I own the thing.
Yeah.
I kind of moved. I really should, and it's fun. It really is quite amazing what these guys did. So maybe we'll kind of come across it. Let's see So in addition to all of this already, like it just keeps getting stacked. We got 2 other real great gems of gaming stories involving his kids. So in that same basement, he hooks up an old NES to a small screen in the gaming room, right? So Mario and Duck Hunt.
Yeah.
So the little one, the 4-year-old, he just loves it.
Nice.
Right? Now the older brother, he's got a Wii U, so he's not really paying attention to it so much.
Right.
But meanwhile, Alfred is playing with his 4-year-old, and he's showing him all the secrets, all the tricks of Mario. Right? So and the kid is loving it. He's taking it all in.
Right.
So now all of a sudden... Exactly, right? And now all of a sudden the older one starts to get a little interested in it. Like wants to play a little bit, wants to go into it.
Right.
And at some point when he's playing it, he's like, "Oh, Dad, where are the warp levels?"
Okay.
So Dad looks to him and says, "Oh, go ask your little brother."
Oh no.
Oh.
Wow.
So the way that he tells it, the older brother just loses his gamer face so quick. The thought of the younger brother being the better gamer on this particular game is just like...
Way to split the power, eh? Just so you balance that. and have they have to work together now.
Yeah,
He has that over him.
don't be too high and mighty on your gaming skills. Like the youngles will come up quick. Go ask your little brother.
Yeah.
Oh, savor it.
That is perfect. I never thought of that before. It's something I could implement now.
Oh yeah, load up the little guy with a bunch of tricks and just wait. So in addition, coming back to that dynamic, with Rocket League, the older one plays pretty straightforward, trying to win. Off he goes. The little one apparently just kind of takes a Tony Hawk angle, like he likes to roam around, do jumps, like he's just trying to have a blast that way. Totally makes sense. The older brother teaches him how to do an explosion collision.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So of course
Full
now,
speed,
yeah, the only thing he wants to do is to chase after his brother's car, who's on the same team, and cause the explosion to just throw him off the map.
So this picture is just a moment in time before some of that stuff happens.
Oh yeah, and the old one's probably saying like, "Don't do it, don't do it." Again, the quote around it comes: "The older brother hates it, and with each success comes this Mr. Burns style evil laugh." Just like,
that's a lot. That is a great post.
I think it is just everything. I mean, there's all this good nature, ribbing, and fun with the kids playing. Like it's a beacon of hope, if nothing. Like
there's a lot there. I'm taking it all in.
Yeah, taking notes over there.
Yeah.
But but it was an absolute honor to get to know Alfred a little bit over the last while, and clearly he is well deserving of the Gaming Dad Victory of the Week.
Ooh.
Kudos, keep it up. My goodness.
Virtual trophy.
Yeah, please.
That's awesome.
Take it. Take them all.
Yes. Here's 4.
So for yourself, how was so actually I was going to mention, I think we'd switch up the formula a bit. Let's try family things first, and then we'll have gaming more towards the end.
Yep.
So it's not quite as rambling. So yourself, how was family life?
Family was pretty good this week. We, if you checked in last week, I believe we mentioned that my son was doing some bead ornaments to raise money for spinal cord research. So
yeah, could you give it a quick recap? It's a fantastic story.
Yeah. So my oldest son, who's 7, he wanted to raise money for his grandpa, who is a quadriplegic, and kind of help the research and people. He's really into science, so he thought that he would make ornaments out of these beads, perler beads that you melt, and he would do all these different designs and auction them off. And he got a ton of people wanting these things. They thought it was a great idea. He's made over $600, which is fantastic.
That's amazing.
Yeah, so we're really proud of him. It was all his idea. We didn't show him anything or anything. We actually just sat down with him and said, "Is this something you want to do?" Because when you commit to it, you got to see it through, right? So he was all for it. He's done it his last week, and this week we're closing up this bead shop. This is Daddy's done. We had
you don't want to go into business full time. This is the new family business.
Yeah. There was a whole assembly line. Like I was melting the beads, my son was constructing them, and my wife was keeping a spreadsheet full of all the orders and marking them off and getting them into envelopes to mail them. And it was a lot. So we are cooked. That is it. We're closing shop. Great idea, but wow.
That is just so many levels of fantastic. The empathy, the giving, like the thinking of others, the entrepreneurship of it, like some little taste of business. Like, man, that is so amazing. It's how do you process this now, like from your dad perspective?
It's I'll say it's like validation almost. I mean, it's kind of weird to say that, but it's like, we've hopefully taught him something where he's now expressing that and putting that into action, where he empathizes with other people's situations. He's thinking of others, even around, the season of Christmas now. And he's not thinking for, what gifts are good for him and all that. He's looking at other people and doing an outward, helping nature of how he can do this. And it's good to see, like, as a parent, this is awesome. This is what you want your kids to grow up. You want your kids to be nice people and think about others, and he has his moments, and this is that validation is that the core is there, and we just have to nurture that and keep that going. Teenagerhood is right around the corner, so you never know what could happen.
I'd like to think that this is a foundational thing and not a peak. And
yeah, right. Let's not go on this roller coaster. Let's keep this going.
Man,
so no, it's good. It's really nice to see. So we're really proud of him.
Man, so I mean, absolute kudos to obviously himself. Like that, what a incredible thing for him to do. That's amazing, and yourself and your missus too. Like that is,
yeah. Not
and
all
like you said,
me.
Val, that. Did you say it's all just you?
No, I said it's not all me. Let's get that straight. I'm throwing points where they should go.
Okay.
My wife is definitely part of this.
Yeah, tell me.
Like 90% part of it.
Okay. No, congrats, man. That is fantastic.
Thanks. What about you?
Yeah. So.
Yeah. So about that.
There's so many things going on. I think I'll keep it to one story this week. And a quick PSA for everyone. If you're thinking of having kids...
What a way to start it off. If you're thinking, okay.
If you are thinking of having kids or another kid or whatever else, it gets better. They're great. Don't stop on this account. I don't know. You look back at these things and laugh. It's wonderful. Also, viewer discretion is advised. For anybody who's a parent, this is par for the course. For somebody who maybe doesn't have kids, yeah, you're warned. So, family goes out for dinner. Now, this place is just around the corner, kind of like a food court type of situation, just a really quick Friday thing, nothing fancy. So, open, public food court type of situation around the corner. So, you know what, we're just going to hop in the stroller. Let's not even bring the diaper bag. Let's not worry about it.
Right. Which
immediately, I could just see from the volume levels, like your hackles go up when I say didn't bring the diaper bag.
It's a risk, man. I don't know what you mean.
What could possibly happen?
Okay, right. Why do I have this?
So there we are. We've ordered the food. We're kind of just sitting and waiting. Public space. Everything's going about the business. And lo and behold, I look down at baby, and it's like, I think someone must have spilled mustard on him.
Okay.
Oh, that's not mustard.
Oh, no.
Oh, my, that's not mustard at all.
Oh, no.
So it's... so baby's... This is... For the rest of the story, what should I call it? Caca sounds weird.
Caca, it's just poops.
Poop?
It's got poops.
Because I want to... I'll tell you this. The story deserves a swear word, but I don't want to put that at the show. That's what it is.
I think we can all live this moment, and we've all been there.
So let's go with poop.
Poops.
So there it is. It's leaking out the side. It's like, oh boy, okay, but it's relatively small and contained. We're trying to get some Kleenexes, deal with it, and then the face of utter relief comes across him, and just the stream starts hard to describe what it's like, and it's like, oh. Okay, that's a lot more. That's okay. Stop. What? That's a second time. That's a.
No.
What is this? So for context, he had not gone to the washroom for 3 days.
Oh.
He had 3 days of backup, Whoa. And at this moment when our food is ordered and we're waiting, he goes. Now at this point, because it's initially it was leaking a little bit out of his leg. Yeah. So I stood up and I kind of walked out into the middle place. I looked down and it is all over the floor.
No.
It is all over the floor of this food court. I walked around a little bit without realizing it and then dragged it around a bunch. And this is not a small amount. This is like...
You're just leaving breadcrumbs. Just make sure you get back to where you are.
You wish it was breadcrumbs. It's like somebody spilt two massive bowls of mustard all over the ground.
No.
And I'm just sitting there holding it, holding him as he's continuing to drip and smile. He was smiling, beaming.
I bet he was.
Oh, he felt amazing. Meanwhile, my other son is like screaming like, "Poo, poo, poo."
Yeah.
And like everyone else is just like, everyone's like staring at me, and then they stare down, and they stare back at me, and I'm holding him out, arm's length, because he's just dripping with poop from the bottom, and it just keeps going over the floor. So it's like, and we don't have the diaper bag.
No,
we don't have the diaper bag.
Yeah, who made that decision?
So it's just this like moment of paralysis of like, it is just, I am surrounded by it. It is all over this public space. People are trying to eat. Like
that stuff is potent too. That is not a non-smelly kind of poop.
Thank goodness it kind of is. It's still kind of in the infancy style stuff, so it's really not
kind of sweetie.
Yeah, it's not egregious yet.
Yeah.
So I'm sitting with this dripping yellow ball. People are trying to eat and stare. My wife is like running out. We're trying to avoid my son like just dipping into it and tripping and falling, because that's the last thing I need. So a woman drops by, gives like utter like pity and sympathy on her face. So she ends up, she has diaper wipes.
Oh wow! So coming through,
right? So my wife, the hero, takes poop pants and puts them holds them on her shoulder. So she's like throwing her own body in front of it. It's like it's equivalent of throwing on like a poop grenade. So she does that. I'm taking these wipes, like I'm desperately trying to like wipe the floor.
Yeah.
Because I just can't in good conscience leave like 7 bowls of this stuff just strewn about a public So I'm trying to like wipe this stuff up, and I'm trying to get him off a little bit. Like I'm trying to wrestle the other son and make sure he doesn't throw himself downstairs meanwhile. And just like the place is in as clean as I could possibly get it. We leave. The woman had just kind of like lent us this bag. She was going to come by and get it later. Bag of wipes. We leave it on the table and we are gone. So like, it's just the whole way home. It's just like holding them there, like in utter disbelief of the amount. It's just like if you. I'm trying to think about how to politely say liquefy a baby, and I don't think
well, it lives inside of him, and now it's out.
Like but it's more than his mass. Like it's more than him.
I don't know how that works, really.
Like he dumped 4 of himself worth of poop on the ground, and it's like, what space did this exist in? Like, how do you possibly have this much room? Just like
he's liquefied his mass as he was doing it. Losing a couple pounds.
So we're strolling back. Wife's got Poops McGee on her shoulder. I'm wrangling a 2-year-old. Like we look back at her, and it's just like so hot data.
Yeah.
Just parented, huh? We go back home. God. Oh, and it's just so much of it on the ground. I just can't.
There's a lot of memories that you created there. You know what I mean? Like that'll stick with you.
It's the wedding conversation. That's the wedding speech, I think.
Yeah.
The best part, there's some part of me that wanted to take a photo.
Right? There's always there's that, you need to capture it, because I think this whole the early years of their life is just a blur, and you might remember parts of this, but not how bad it was. So you do need photographic evidence of the scene.
When they have a kid, or just...
Oh, yeah, just remind them.
Oh, just so much. I can't describe it. And it's so... Right now, like, his poop is just so bright yellow, like neon. So it's just radiating from the ground. Like, it looks as if... it looks cartoonish in the fact that you expect it to kind of, like, eat through the floor and go through, like, 6 more. And
yeah.
There's just so many people looking at it, and you're like...
You all been here, right? Am I right? Oh God,
babies, am I right? Yeah. How's the burger?
What are you looking at? Don't look at me.
Oh, so
wow,
babies.
Wow. No. Well, hope you're allowed back in there.
No, we're never going back. That's
okay. That's you.
We need to move. Like I gotta sell the house. Like just get out. Like we're done.
That's it. Okay, take a chance.
But, yeah. Man, babies. That's just, yeah.
Wow.
It would have been, and just having the second one there, and just it's the one time we don't bring the diaper bag. Him beaming.
Never again. You need that.
Never again. Never again.
Never again.
I think you learn your lesson like this once, I think. But let's switch right on over to gaming. There's no smooth transition. That's my parented this week.
You're right.
Other stuff happened, but that's parented this week.
Yeah.
Yourself, did you get into any games?
No. This week was just not the gaming week. This was bead week. I had to get the ornaments done. That was a focus.
They were gaming shapes.
So none for me.
It was Mario mushrooms and everything, at least. So
yeah, we put games into it a little bit, but
there you go. So the industry though has continued. Like, I hope this is not become a recurring theme on this podcast. I mean, there's enough outlets that talk about this type of thing, but it's been another interesting week. Actually, sorry, I'll first off saying I beat Farpoint.
Oh, good for you. Good.
Yeah, it happened. We did it.
Awesome. One down.
And it literally was just one of those, you know what? There's so many games I have, and I want to get to a bunch of them, so gonna do it. Gonna push through it.
Yeah.
And awesome, man. I think it really represented like a high quality VR title. Tons of fun, great story. Not the most incredible ending, but still, great. Left me, and I'm just like excellent.
Right.
Happy about the great experience. I think anybody with a PSVR would be well suited to give it a shot. And I think I saw a couple of deals come through recently. I think currently, I think PlayStation's having a sale right now again. Yeah,
again, I'm keeping my eye on it. I know it's there. I know.
Keep and watch.
It's there.
So that's one I mentioned. Otherwise, so last week we spoke of Destiny 2 specifically, and the XP controversy they found themselves in. Specifically, they were limiting how much XP you got subsequently for a bunch of playthroughs. So if you did 4 hours of playing and grinding, you would notice your XP slowly start to drop off, which was problematic because you are rewarded engrams, which you can trade in, which is basically loot boxes, and the place you trade them into, you can buy them. So if you start getting frustrated because you're not getting as many, theoretically you want to buy some. So amongst EA news and everything else, looked awful. Now the current stuff, so they just released Curse of Osiris. I think it's $20 or $30, so not that bad. Mm-hmm. The controversy that came in, and I'm going to verify this and mention it next week, but as I understand it, one of the issues is that they have taken away some of the content you already had. So specifically, let's say with a particular raid or a particular group activity, you now need to be, let's call it power level 310. But if you don't have the expansion, you are limited at 305. So those are things you used to be able to do. Right. So they literally, unless you get the expansion, you can't play all of the game you previously had.
That is horrible to DLC minus people away. Like, it's just that's not downloadable content anymore. If you're patching the game to get rid of it,
it's like buy this. It's like ransom. Like you have to buy the DLC, or you don't get the stuff you already had.
Yeah. That is a new, well, not a new low. I'll say what EA did with Battlefront is the low, but that is pretty shady for Bungie.
That is absolute something. Now hold on. So, as everybody loves on the show, is when I take 5 minutes and I Google something.
Tappa.
Because there's just something about it. So here's the thing, though, because I played it today. Specifically, I bought it because there was a overpowered weapon that was just completely ruining player versus player. Literally, and it's literally a bug. Like this gun was so bad that they're actually going to be patching it next week. Although there was an interesting interaction with a fan, Jeff, maybe you could run folks through. I thought it's just hilarious.
So it caught my eye because I'm not really into the Destiny scene, but this guy, going by John Census on Reddit, said if Zur, is that how I say it? XUR, I guess he's the marketplace dude. If he sells the Prometheus lens tomorrow, I will shave my head and glue my hair to my face as a beard. and dude got called out by Bungie and said, "Your move," and the guy is selling the in-game Prometheus lens and all weekend, so he has to make do on his little bet there. No bamboozle.
Jeez. Yeah, they call them out so I went into the game just to buy it today, just for a laugh. I wanted to give it a shot to see where I was going, and yeah, there it was. Lo and behold,
Yes. They're listening to fans just on weird topics like this. We have to bet more.
So I think so I'm seeing 3 or 4 stories, and I haven't been. Now it was from 2 days ago, and I haven't seen it redacted. The only reason I wanted to search is because when I played today, I would still be able to get to a level. Well, I'll say that they raised the cap. So before, I think you had to be like a 260 or 280 to play this one raid, and now it's like now it's like 300, which you can still get to currently, okay. Right? However, I'm seeing this same story from like 4 or 5 outlets, including like Polygon and other ones, and they're all mentioning the same thing.
Yeah, I haven't heard great things about that new expansion. I heard it was like maybe an hour or and a half of new content or something for $20-$30. So.
Oh, yeah, okay. So here it is. Okay, so it's something I hadn't particularly done. Let's see. If a new DLC dropped and you didn't buy it, most of the playlists would get locked out for you, since everything moved to a DLC playlist instead of having 6 playlists. So playlists being kind of different types of rounds or modes that you can play.
Right.
You would only get to play Clash to Control, for example. So that's on the PvP thing. So they removed some ways. And other ones are Strike playlist, which is kind of a player versus everybody, so PvE. Yeah. Instead of having 3 Strike playlists to choose from, you would only get 1 Strike playlist. That wasn't even worth your time, since the gear it dropped was way below the cap of the other ones of the vanilla game. So yeah, so they have, with this DLC, they have now locked content you previously had access to.
That is so wrong on so many levels. Who makes those decisions? Who says, you know what, it's a good idea? You know what would really help our fan base is to lock those ones out that don't have the time to get to certain levels or whatever, but they're still playing our game. Let's just up that.
Yeah, and I think what's interesting is like they have precedents, because with Destiny 1 they did this exact same thing.
Oh, did they?
Which is curious, because so it's not, at least like they have history of doing this exact thing.
Ugh. Well, then maybe there's no sympathy then. If they did it Destiny 1 and people are buying Destiny 2 knowing that they do this.
Yeah.
Come on.
Still doesn't make it good. I mean, like just because it was wrong before doesn't make it right now.
No, it doesn't. It's just...
So just like it. I guess. Yeah. I mean, and I will say literally, I think I've previously mentioned on this podcast, it's like I was enjoying Destiny 2 enough that I would consider the DLC.
Right.
Having a lot of fun. Like, I really do enjoy it. Like, I don't have enough time to grind it, but it's sessionable from a dad perspective. So, yeah, I thought about it. Might be interesting. I'm going to let this shake out, though, for a bit.
Yeah.
I'm in no rush to kind of get into it now, because, like, let this, simmer for 2 or 3 weeks.
Right.
And see if there's enough backlash, and maybe they change something, and at that point I'll try to maybe dip in. We'll give a look.
Yeah.
So, and this is on top of, and then EA, these guys, no one seems to be able to stay out of trouble week to week with the UFC. So EA releases the latest UFC game, which has loot boxes, and some of the loot boxes literally makes individual punches better.
That is so that is like the old school way of putting a handicap on a player 2 or whatever. And you're like, if you're really good at the game, you'll put a handicap on the other guy or whatever. That's what it's doing without that option. Like now you're just facing people in the same matches, and one is just more powerful than you for no reason.
Yeah, it's just that they did some numbers, and it sounds like it's somebody who comes in. 2 people are there. One person's been playing for, call it, 40 hours, 80 hours, and someone else comes in brand new, and they drop $100 or $1,000 or something. The person who drops the money immediately is just so much better.
Yeah, like to the guy where it's not fun. Like,
Yeah, because you have all this skill and you're like good at dodging, and then super jab, like punches you through the wall, and like, well, this is a blast. Thanks, guys.
Yeah, this has really helped the game. This, you know what? This is awesome. Like, I don't get that decision. I thought they would roll back those features like as soon as the Battlefront stuff went down, and I think it's still in beta. But usually when the game's in beta, they'll make minor changes to the mechanics. This seems like it's built into the fabric.
Well, every punch is microtransaction. I mean, how do you remove it without making it feel weird?
I don't know. I don't know why they even needed that. And really, like from what I've seen, they didn't even really upgrade the graphics at all. Like it's the same looking game, just the fighters have changed to be with the times. So I don't know. EA is just slowly going to a pit.
Like they're certainly like the forerunners of garbage.
Yeah.
As far as this news,
like they have all the good stuff. Like don't ruin everything.
Well, they keep buying other developers and killing them.
Yeah.
But I mean, they're definitely the forerunners. But obviously with Activision doing this nonsense with Destiny, or Bungie, sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah. Here we are.
Yeah,
wait, isn't it? I think it's Activision Bungie. Anyways,
all
this stuff going on with Destiny. Yeah. All this stuff with it just the Lottie is like, give your head a shake. Come on, like it's just like we have impressionable youth over here that we need to take care of.
That's why it like made me love Witcher and CD Projekt Red, where their game was like done when they fired it off. They patched it a little bit, but the game was just immense, grandiose, and their DLC was another 30 hours of like a full game. It could have been a whole new game. That DLC was perfect, and it wasn't over the top, and people love that, right? You don't have to, it's not multiplayer, but still, it's the same kind of idea. Like put your all into something and make people want to buy it.
Man, just the goodwill too, because to hear you espouse it, to think about the people, anybody who games that you would hear you talk about Witcher 3 after you're legitimate, like how fantastic, how much is that worth?
Right. Like right now you can pick up that entire package with all the DLC for $20 and it would be good for 150 hours of play.
Yes,
right?
I saw that too, and every time I see it, it's just like I chuckle and I think of you. Or it's just like, do I want to go down the
It'll
Jeff
take
hole?
1 year.
Like,
it will take 1 year. You can do it though.
Part of me that wants to, like, it just looks so beautiful, but man, there's so many other games. There's so many other games I gotta get to. Side story. We changed internet providers, and someone I was talking, like, I've had some confusion as to whether or not we have like a cap on how much data we're allowed.
Oh.
Like how much you can actually download.
Right.
Which I don't know if it's a misunderstanding or like what exactly has happened.
Yeah.
But I even had the impression that I might be capped at 20 gigs.
Oh no, that's like one update.
Well.
Oh god, no.
So I had to confirm that, and I'm trying to, in my head, I'm trying to think. I'm like, there's no way,
right, in
this day and age, that unless this is like a $5 a month plan, that you're getting like only 20 gigs, right?
Yeah.
But yet to be confirmed. I don't know for certain that it's not.
That's crazy.
Now I go to download Horizon Zero Dawn.
Oh yeah.
It is 40 gigs. It starts to download and I pause it. I'm like, whoa, okay, hold on. Let me just confirm that I in fact have the space, because otherwise that is like actually just straight up double what my amount would be for the month. So pause it. Had a gaming session that night, put it to rest mode. Walked away. I came back the next day.
Yeah.
It's like, hey, Horizon finished downloading. It's installed. It's like, oh my, okay.
Yeah. I think that's a flaw in PlayStation. I hate that. A pause should be paused until you unpause it. Because I've had that.
I'm just like, I paused you. I didn't tell you to keep going.
Yeah.
What the I'm like, oh no. So I hope that's not true, because otherwise I just doubled my amount that I'm supposed to.
Yeah.
Thanks, PlayStation.
Yeah, I don't
Oh,
know
but
why there's data caps. I'm on a data cap, but it's not 20 gigs. And even I find a hard time staying in with 275 gigs. Like, I don't know why it's a resource, really. It should just
yeah,
all be unlimited and you just bottleneck the speed. That's fine. But it's
yeah,
not like it's eating up data bits of something that's like a finite source.
yeah. It's
Like,
not like
come
you have to
on.
put on extra. It's not, you don't have to put extra gerbils on the spinning wheel. Like it's just like
Right? Like, my fee obviously covers enough of it. Just give it. So,
yeah. No,
wow.
if anything, it's probably just to prevent people from going nuts. Like, oh, unlimited, woo!
Which you will
Download
have,
every.
but then you'll have grandma that, eats up 1 gig and like the other end of it
Just
uses
little
nothing.
sips. I like that you think grandma takes up a whole gig.
That's a lot of cat pictures and a lot of email forwards and Facebook
Yeah,
posts.
yeah, that's a lot of dancing gifts during. The But so we obviously covered a bit of the shady part of the industry, but we can end off nicely this week with a beacon of light as far as the best of the industry. The Game Awards Show 2017
Yep.
transpired, and yeah. So Jeff, actually, you had watched it. Like, what are some of your impressions just from actually viewing the ceremony?
It was long. I didn't expect it to be that long. It was a full 3 hours. Um, they kind of had a pre-show to begin with too, and showed off some game announcements or never before seen world premieres, which weren't all that great. A lot of it was DLC. There was mention of like a new Soul Calibur was kind of cool, and the biggest one was probably the new tease of Bloodborne, which looks neat.
Um, mhm.
So,
Sorry,
well,
the tease of Bloodborne,
Bloodborne
or
2. So
okay, yeah, yeah.
people like suspect it's that. We'll probably find out more at PSX over the weekend, but I imagine it's that. There's a lot of good, a lot of good games up for awards. Like they picked the cream of the crop. There's probably not a game in there that I would really disagree with, except for PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds because it's not really finished. But that's another story. They kind of glossed over some of the best ones, like best role playing game went to Persona 5, which I adore. I'm into that, and I haven't even scratched the surface. They kind of glazed over that, but they gave some good awards out. Some mentions. If you run through it quickly, is Cuphead won for a lot of like best debut indie
Let's
game,
see.
best art direction,
Best audio.
best audio.
Oh, best narrative. Oh, sorry, not narrative. That's something else.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, sorry. Best. And audio. Sorry, that's also incorrect. I had my left and rights here messed up. Yeah, sorry. Best art direction. Best debut indie game.
oh yeah, and Hellblade. I think was yeah. Hellblade won a lot, which was good to see. The actress that actually played Sensua, I don't know how to say her name, but that's a game I have on my list. She actually won for Best Actress, and she's not an actress. She's a video editor for the for the company, and good on her. Like, wow, that was interesting to see. And then you had Hideo Kojima come out with his Death Stranding weirdness trailer, which is all sorts of crazy. Like, I invite anybody to watch that trailer. It had Norman Reedus and a baby inside him, and like
Winking.
things tearing the sky up and flipping the world. It was
How's that even a
Hideo.
game? Like, it just seems like a crazy trip of a movie. Like, let alone like you're gonna play this thing.
I don't know how it's gonna be played. It just looked like
Turns out it's a platformer. Like,
you just watch it for 2 hours. It might be like Metal Gear, where it was like you had crazy cutscenes for half an hour and then go play for a little bit. But yeah, that looked nuts. But then I guess the best game of the year was Zelda. So congrats to Zelda. Nintendo kind of cleaned up as well. That's one of the
yeah.
games. If I had a Switch, I would get as Zelda Breath of the Wild and Mario if I could. But pretty big snub to Horizon. It didn't win anything, which was surprising, even in some
Oh,
sort
that
of
is. Yeah, that's nuts. I can't believe nothing. Was it a
nothing.
different year?
No, it was February, so it was this year. They even had DLC before the year was out, so they didn't win anything, which was surprising. But I guess even to be up with the big boys, your first year out is probably award enough. I think a lot of people are sounding off saying, surprise and did it for me this year. Thanks, Gorilla. So they got thanks
True,
in a
but
different way.
so hold on though. Like I'm seeing like best action. Could you call it an action game?
I think it's like action adventure, probably like an Uncharted.
Yeah.
So that went to Zelda. So
man, really interesting one I saw would be the Mario and Rabbids Kingdom Battle.
Yeah.
Which that title was like that's a left field title. That's not that's the best strategy game.
Yeah.
No less.
Over XCOM.
Whoa.
Yeah, and that was probably something that everybody laughed at, whoever's idea that was. You know what I mean? Like Mario versus Rabbids, like two like very opposite, like a family-friendly thing, and then like a kooky Rabbid thing, and it goes on and it sells a lot, and people loved it, and it wins awards. So good on Nintendo again, or Ubisoft,
Yeah.
I guess.
They just keep on going.
Yeah.
Yeah, Ubisoft and Nintendo.
But
so I mean, like,
it was a good show. Like, you know, some cringy moments, but that was worth a watch. I had fun online, was live tweeting and meeting other people out there. So look forward to it. It's something that the game industry, I think, has to have. It's kind of like a, you know, just even just a year in review kind of thing of what's come out, because time ticks by and you don't remember the games that were launched early in the year. So it was a good look back.
I guess that's going to be anytime starting now, right up until the next 2 or 3 months is going to be the season of Game of the Years.
Oh yeah,
the Game of the Year list. So
yeah, stay tuned.
The Gaming Dad Game of the Year again goes to Witcher 3. Still playing it.
They've released more DLC. Fine, just give it to them.
and No Man's Sky. Never updates and never changes. It should be a whole different category. Game Award, Best Dad Game.
Yes. I think we should give out our own Dad Game Awards.
I think that is going to happen this year now. Now that we're saying this.
Yeah.
It is very specific criteria.
I think so.
It's like my kid cried all day. Get me out of here game.
It's the game I'll never play because I have no time award.
Yeah. The game dads want to play the most but will never have time to play.
Yeah. I think we should do it. I think that's a great idea. We'll start it.
It's happening. That is happening. Look forward to it, folks. But with that, we will go ahead and wrap it up. Thank you so much for listening. This has been New Dad Gaming. If you'd like to reach out to us, you can find us on our website at newdadgaming.com. We'd love to hear from you with your Gaming Dad stories if you'd like to be part of the Gaming Dad Victory of the Week, as well as show ideas, notes, anything else. So please do reach out to us. You can also find us on Twitter and Facebook. For the podcast itself, we're on iTunes as well as Google Play and any other podcasting service. We'd appreciate a like, subscribe, and most importantly, a pass along to any dads who game. So until next time, my name is Trevor, and I have a 2-year-old and a 3-month-old.
My name is Jeff. I have a 7-year-old and a 4-year-old and no poopy diapers.
Oh, so many others. Right after I said it, I'm like, yeah, I have a 3-month-old who is empty. just happily empty. Not a drop. So much. I wish I should have taken the photo.
You should have. I think
I was holding him arm's length, so I just like it.
Yeah.
I should have asked someone else. Hey, could you hold him for a second?
Can you take a picture, please?
Selfie. Poopsie.
Oopsies.
Bye, everybody.
See ya.
That was actually thinking like that's what I'd say to everyone as I run away from all the poop on the ground.
Yeah.
But for everybody who's listening, bye, everybody. See you next week.
See ya.